Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I uploaded my last video, and just based on the title itself, I went to Iceland. Now, there are three reasons why I went to Iceland. One is that because I love Viking culture. Vikings are a phenomenal warriors, but also how they developed in society in the early 500s to 1000 BC. And of course, is how they developed the society and how it became phenomenal warriors. Second thing is because of Iceland. Iceland is a beautiful landscape country with beautiful rich mountains, green grass, and just the history of it, how Iceland became a well-known country. And third is because the culture itself, like anything around Iceland is phenomenal. Now for this time, I went on a different tour group instead of the last one, because the last one was from National Geographic. But for this one, my brother's friend went on a different tour, went to this tour group. They went to different places around the world, and they take everybody under the age of 35 now. And this tour group is called the Under 30 Experience. I'll put the link in below if you're interested in going to one of these trips. Now, when I looked at the itinerary for this whole Iceland trip, it was about like 5 days at most, because there was one that's about 10 days, but that's way too long. But I think 5 days is suitable enough for going to staying and learning the culture of a country. The first stop we went to in another group was Think Valley, in which Vikings from Norway first landed and developed a society in Iceland. And just before we went to go on the explore around the valley, we got an alert saying that a volcano erupted right by Blue Lagoon. And there was nothing to worry about because we were just about 40 miles away from the Blue Lagoon. And the tour kept on continuing for us. And just as when we were walking around Think Valley, it was a phenomenal, beautiful place to visit. After visiting in Think Valley and relaxing at the lagoon, we went to a designated place that we're going to stay for the next 5 days. And it was just a farm and ranch place that had cabins. It was nice. And then for dinner, they served us like phenomenal food. They served us fish, chicken, some homegrown vegetables. It was delicious. Now, for the second day of our trip, we were about to go to Edfell, one of the oldest places or islands in Iceland. And to get to it, you need to take a ferry, which again, I've been saying many times, I'm not big on boats. But for this one, for a ferry itself, it was not bad. We get to Edfell, it was like almost we get to a fish shop. But after like 5 minutes outside of docks, it was like a lovely town. And then we start to climb up to Edfell, the volcano itself, which is about 200 meters up, or in the United States, approximately around 656 feet above sea level. And the journey up was awesome. After climbing up Edfell, we climbed back down, had lunch. I had this lovely burger from this place called Got. And once we had like a couple hours of free time, I decided to explore around the town. And the houses around this island they're beautiful. And some are very old, and some of them are pretty much like being reconstructed because back in 1973, it was the last time that a volcano erupted in Edfell, and there was a lot of things to see in Edfell. Now, after we got back on the ferry and came back to the mainland, our tour guide showed us two different waterfalls. One called Skusublu, which is the more like tourist attraction waterfall where you can go around behind the waterfall and view it. But the other one called Glurabui, in which the waterfall is inside a cave, and I went to the one inside the cave, Glurabui. Probably one of the best waterfalls I ever seen. The next morning, on a rainy day, we're about to go off on another beautiful adventure. After spending some time on the Black Beach and having lunch by this little camping area, we were about to go on to Full Valley, one of the largest craters and beautiful mountains in Iceland. And wow, it was something unique and incredible to see. Now, on to the last and final day of the trip. And this last day of the trip was special, for which we were about to climb on an ice glacier. I'm not joking, climbing on an actual ice glacier. And just to make it a little more fun, it was raining that day. After gearing up on those spikes and being clear of the instructions from our tour guide, we were supposed to line up to make sure everyone goes following through the guide, make sure everyone knows everyone's slow, pretty much it. But once we start climbing up to the ice glacier, probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. Now, after climbing the ice glacier and actually tasting the glacier itself, best water ice I've ever had, we're about to head to a ranch and go horseback riding, and it was fun. And also going on a sightseeing waterfalls, and that was pretty much it for the last day. Now, just before we were about to head back home and head to the airport, we stopped at Grance to do a little sightseeing, and I went with Adam, who was part of the group, and we stopped at the Hopping Museum. We did a lot of sightseeing in this Iceland Historic Museum, and also look around the city itself. And even though it's a lot of tourist attraction in Reykjavik, it was beautiful to look around the city. Honestly, going to Iceland was a beautiful and phenomenal experience. I would love to go back to Iceland some point in the future. I love learning the folk culture, Iceland's history, and just the culture around Iceland itself. And I hope some point in the future you guys would love to go to Iceland. But other than that, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!